Happy Wednesday, everyone. We got a fun little work set coming your way. We're going to take it back a notch in terms of some intensity. Your heart rate's going to get up there. Core is going to get worked pretty well today. We're going to take the intensity back a notch today, getting ready for tomorrow. So, yes, tomorrow. Christmas Eve. It's going to be a good time coming your way. All right, so it's going to be a great day. Going to have some fun for you guys. Bring in that Christmas spirit the right way with a special little workout. But that's tomorrow. Today, what we got for you today is an on the minute. So before we get to that, our warm-up is going to consist of a plank to down dog for 3 to 5 reps just to heat up the shoulders a bit. Side plank reach through for 10 to 20 seconds a side. Forearm plank with toe point for 20 seconds, just alternating back and forth. Arch up, alternating for 10 to 20 seconds. And a tuck hollow with extension for 20 seconds, 2 to 3 rounds. We're going to hit that up really strong. We'll move down to the bottom piece, which is going to be a little bit more dynamic. Follow up with some shoulder and some core work. So we have some in-out hops for 10 seconds, lateral ski jumps for 20 seconds, and then we have a half Turkish get up for 5 aside into our kneeling rotation, and then we're going to work on our laying toe touch for 20 seconds with a 10-second rest 2 times. So you're going to get like a little double burn there, back-to-back toe touches. So we'll chat about that, some things you can do in between on that 10-second rest if you like. But besides that, the workout on the minute. 5 rounds. What we have, minute number 1, you're going to take down 30 to 60 double unders or a double under equivalent. So we'll have some options down at the bottom of your workout description. I'll show you some here on the video. Minute number 2, what you're going to take down is 20 seconds of Turkish get-up sit-ups on the right arm. Then you're going to rest for 10 seconds. Then you do Turkish get-up sit-up for 20 seconds on the left arm. And then you're going to rest for 10 seconds. So you have like a little mini Tabata on that minute. So you're going to take down 20 with a little bit of rest. The last 10-second rest is really just stand up, get your skipping rope in hand, or get ready to do your jump. And then minute number 2, beep, back at the double under or your double under option, and then back down to those Turkish get-up sit-ups. So it's going to be a nice little high heart rate with the double unders, and then some nice Turkish get-up sit-ups to work that core and shoulder. So 10 minutes of work in total. Gonna have some fun stuff. With the Turkish get-up sit-up, you can do that with load or without. That depends on you personally. But regardless, it's a great movement even if you do it without load, because it's still gonna work on that engagement to get you sitting up. So let's get you warmed up. Let's get ready for action, and we'll have a lot of fun today. All right, guys, let's warm up a little bit. Let's get those feet under the hips. Take the arms up big and tall. We're gonna reach to one side. Come back up through, reach to the other side. We'll come back up. Hands are going to come down to the hips. We'll take the hips around a few times. Just a few. And then we'll go the other way. Nice and easy. Nice and gentle. We're going to take our feet out to our sumo stance. We're going to step it out a little wide. Turn a toe directly to the side. The other toe is going to go kind of on an angle. We're going to get nice and tall. We're going to bring our hand onto our thigh. Big reach up overhead. We're going to pull the hip into that dynamic triangle. So we're going to take it all the way down as far as we can. We're going to take it up into that nice overhead position. We'll take it back down. Nice dynamic triangle. Come back up. Good. We'll come back down. And we'll take it back up. Turn the toes. Big high five. We'll transition to the other side. Toe and toe. Big reach up. Pull the hip. Take it as deep as you feel comfortable. We'll bring it back up. We're going to come back into the hip, lowering down the shin. Come back up nice and tall. One more time, take it down. And then take it back up. Turn the toes, big high five. Good, we'll leave one hand up, soft knees. We're going to work that windmill. So soft knees as we pull back into that good morning. We're going to rotate at the little rib. Take it as deep as we feel comfortable as we take it back up. Little 5, hand come down, pull the hip, get that good rotation, and then come back up. Big 5, bring those hands to the hips. We'll jump them in. It's time to move on to the next phase. But if you'd like to pause that video, take that down a little bit more, or a little bit more gentle stuff, maybe some wrist work, because we are going to spend some time on our hands in our warm-up. Please work on some wrist mobility, some thread the needles maybe. We'll take it down. But besides that, our warm-up is going to start with our plank to down dog for 3 to 5 reps. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get myself in my plank, my hands tight, my ribs are pulled into that good plank, and my shoulders pressed to the ceiling in that good hollow plank. I'm gonna pull my hips back into that nice down dog position. So my shoulders are nicely supported through the entire process with my lats. And then I'm gonna come back into my plank. So I'm nice and tight, and then I'm gonna pull back again, maintaining that good shoulder position, setting up those hips, softening the knees and the ankles, and then coming back into the plank. So keeping in mind as I do this work set, we want to make sure that those armpits are pointing towards the toes, and we have a neck the whole time. It's almost like that lat is coming around and giving us a big hug as we move into that down dog. Now, we haven't done these ones in a while, so I want you guys to take your time with this one. We have our side plank reach through, and I'm going to show you from a different side view as we go. But we're going to get ourselves set up in our side plank, and this can be executed via a supported side plank, right, or a full side plank. So either position you can work through, whatever's going to give you the most balance as we work through this. I'm actively pressing through the floor with that arm. I'm going to take the arm that's up, and I'm going to rotate through as best I can, keeping my feet flat on top of each other as I come back. I'm not rolling onto my toes. So I'm rotating through, reaching, and then I'm going to come back up and nice and steady. So I'm going to work on that position nice and steady, nice and slow. If I try and go too quickly, I'm going to fall over. So I'm going to show one from the side view. So again, with the supported position, the knee can go down and in line with the arm, or I can do an unsupported with the legs straight, feet stacked on top of each other, and I'm going to take the arm through, rotate through as far as I can, continually pressing through that supporting shoulder on the ground, and work through that range of motion that I have. This is a very slow movement. I don't want you guys to try and rush this, or else you will fall over, and we don't want that, all right? And even moving slow, you still might fall over because it's hard to balance. But if we're moving slow, there's a lesser chance that we're gonna topple over. So you're gonna take that 10 to 20 seconds per side. That's not gonna be very many reps, but it's gonna give you some time to work on that rotation, work on that side balancing, and just work that good core position. Our next exercise is gonna continue in our plank work, and we're gonna work on a forearm plank. So I'm gonna come back to my knees. I'm gonna get my forearms on the floor, elbow stacked underneath at the shoulder. I'm gonna press through the arms. I'm gonna step back into my plank, so I'm nice and set through the ribs and hips, and my shoulders press up. I'm gonna just take this down and point my toe, put it down, point my toe. So I'm not trying to overly lift my legs up in the air. I'm just taking away one of my points of balance with that toe point. And I'm just gonna alternate back and forth. I'm not trying to go like max reps, like super fast. I'm just point down, and just take my time working through that position and really work on my 3-point balance. Now, if the forearm plank is hard enough as it is, and you're like, you know what, I find that really hits me hard here, I struggle with it just to maintain that engagement, don't worry about adding a toe point in. Just work on a good, strong forearm plank and build that capacity there, right? Our next exercise is our arch up, alternating for 10 to 20 seconds as well. So we're gonna work through a nice steady state pace of arch ups with the alternating hand and foot. So my eyes are down, my toes are together, and I'm gonna inhale, reach with my right hand, left foot, and I'm gonna come back down. Inhale, reach with my other side, reaching through my arms and legs. Inhale, reach, come back down. Inhale, reach, come back down, and reach, back down. Just nice, smooth, alternating back and forth, thinking about that length. I'm trying to lengthen out my body as much as I can to create space through my spine. Last but not least in this work set of core work. Oh yeah, we're gonna work on that tuck hollow with extension. Everyone's favorite, I know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ourselves set up in that long stretch, and I would give myself that long stretch out, good morning stretch. As we pull the ribs and hips together, I'm gonna pull my shoulders and knees together into that tuck hollow. Try and create that compression. And then I'm gonna try and maintain that compression as I extend those legs. So pulling those knees to my shoulders, the
entire time I extend those legs. And we're just working on that nice smooth motion for 20 seconds. So there's no rush in terms of getting reps in that work set. We're really just focusing on that nice extension of the hamstring, working on maintaining that compression as best we can. And if you find that it's easier for you to straighten out the legs by doing one leg at a time, we can do that as well. So it's the same setup. The only difference is I lower a foot down and I work on that compression as I work with that single leg as I keep one foot down on the floor.
So that is another option as well. So you just do 20 seconds per side or 10 seconds per side, depending on what you need for a dose of the tuck hollow with extension. Quick recap, we have 2 to 3 rounds. Plank to down dog for 3 to 5. Side plank reach through for 10 to 20 seconds a side. Forearm plank with toe point or forearm plank for 20 seconds. Arch up, alternating back and forth for 10 to 20 seconds. And then a tuck hollow with extension. Total reps, 20 seconds. Again, most of this stuff is all about moving smooth, moving steady, time under tension, not necessarily getting as many reps as you possibly can. All right, so I just want you to know that you have that time allotted to move well and just move dynamically through that time frame. Pause the video, take down that piece. It might take a little bit. It's a little slower movement sets, but and it burns quite a bit. So if you need to rest in between, please do so. We're going to go into the next phase, which is going to be a little bit more dynamic with a side of core and shoulder. So we're going to start off with our in-out hops or steps. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. I'm going to stand in this nice athletic stance, so soft knees, way through the balls of my feet, and I'm going to start by setting my clock for 10 seconds and work on some in-out hops. So I'm just working on bringing my feet in and out, landing soft, and I'm just really working on waking up my ankles in that in and out position. So you can go fast, you can go slow, whatever you want. We're trying to keep the ankles and feet relaxed as we do this, and we're just using that nice natural rebound off of the feet. If jumping is not so good for your feet or your ankles, what we can work on is the steps. So you can work on stepping in and out, and you can work on some footwork as we do this. So it's a nice little work set, trying to stay in that nice athletic stance and working again on that rhythm, timing, and that coordination of the steps. I find personally, if you start speeding up those steps, the steps are a little tougher than the jumps because you really do have to focus on that coordination side of things. So it's nice to alternate back and forth between the two. Our next exercise we have is the lateral ski jump. So I'm going to shift over here a little bit. I'm going to load a leg. I'm going to use my arms and my body to get that swing and that jump. I'm going to control the lateral energy as I use that swing. And I'm going to control and stop that energy for a brief second before heading the other way. I want you guys to use the arms. I want you guys to use the momentum of the body and the leg and the arm together so we can generate that power laterally instead of just trying to reach with your leg. Right? So it's okay. Use what you got. Use the body. If you're not a jumper, you can work on the same thing, but you can work on a step. So I'm not actually taking my foot off the ground until my other foot is on the ground. So it gives me a chance to stay supported, and it doesn't even have to be that big of a step. It can be a pretty small step, whatever you want, but we're still working on controlling that lateral energy. From those two jumps, heart rate got up a little bit there. We're going to move into our half Turkish get up and kneeling rotation. So I have my ab mat back here so I can use it for my knee, and it's just to keep my knee comfortable. So if you need a little extra padding at home, please grab something for your knee so you can enjoy this movement and not just continually think, oh, my knee's grinding into the floor. All right, so grab something if you need it, put it there. Knee is stacked over the heel, the back knee is under the hip, under the shoulder, so we're nice and stacked and set. If you are going to load this movement, it's going to be over top of the same leg to the front. So whatever leg is in front is the arm that's in the air, loaded or not. So whatever the setup is, it's the same. My other arm is going to be out to the side, ready to go, and I'm going to squeeze, and I'm going to lower down to the side into this nice side plank or T position. From here, I'm continually pressing that dumbbell to the ceiling, and then I'm going to come back up, keeping that arm pointing up to the ceiling. I like having people pause on either end of this. It doesn't have to be very long, but I do like people showing control
on either side of this movement. It's not meant to be for time, it's meant to be done well and steady for shoulder and core stability. You can also then change direction, or change sides I should say, so whatever knee and foot you stick or change, that's the arm that changes too. So whatever leg is in front, the arm is overhead, we set up on the other side and execute the same thing. The key thing here, you guys, is remembering that both sides are not necessarily created equal. So you may feel unstable on one side and a little bit more stable on the other side. So again, this is not meant to be super heavy. It can get relatively heavy, but I want you to tread slowly and make sure you can control that overhead position. The exercise afterwards is the kneeling rotation. We haven't done these in a little while, but these are kind of fun. And you can do this without load or with load. My toe is curled under. It's in the same position that we just did our half Turkish get-up. So I'm going to take the dumbbell up under the chin. So I'm in my good little goblet position. I squeeze my glute so I get that slight tuck instead of the hip. And then I'm going to rotate at the low rib towards that lead leg. And then I'm going to come back to center. And I'm just going to move really slow. So I tuck and squeeze. I rotate towards that lead leg. And I take it as deep as I can, within reason. And then come back to center. And I'm moving slow and steady. I'll never ask you to do this exercise for time, because it's not meant to be done for time. It's meant to be done for control of the midsection and that rotation at the low rib. So your hips and legs don't move at all when we do that rotation. We just rotate through the upper body and that low rib, and then come back to center, okay? And then we get the other side when we switch to our other leg, and then we get to work on that other side of the core, that other side of rotation. And you may notice too, like I mentioned for the half Turkish get-up, that one side's rotation is not quite the same as the other, and that's just how we're wired as humans. So just keep that in mind. You may be able to get further on one than the other. Don't force the other side. Listen to your body, take it to your edge. Now, if you're looking at that going, it's like, well, Dave, why don't I just do my half Turkish get-ups and then do my rotation and then do the other side? Do it up, whatever you want. If you want to mix and match those two exercises so you don't have to go back and forth in your knees, that's fine. If you want to mix and match and do half Turkish get-up both sides and then your kneeling rotation, also take her down. Whatever you want to do for that, it's your call, all right? Take it down. I do it differently depending on the day. So see how you feel that day and go from there. Our last exercise in this warm-up set is a little bit of core work, and it's that laying toe touch. So again, I'm going to take advantage of this chance to take a big stretch. So I'll probably just give myself a big old reach overhead. Then I'm going to bring my low back into the floor, and I'm going to tuck and squeeze those ribs and hips. I'm going to extend my legs up to the sky so they're nice and straight in that L position, and my ribs are nice and tight pulled in. My hands are going to be reaching towards my shoelaces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my ribs and hips together, bring myself closer to my shoelaces, and then roll myself back. Ribs, hips together, and then come back. And I'm going to do this for 20 seconds, nice and steady. You'll notice that I'm not trying to rush or use momentum. I want you guys to not worry about the reps, but worry about the compression that we're trying to control and engage here in that laying toe touch. You may not touch your toes, right? I don't touch my toes. I come very close to my shoelaces, but I can't quite get there. And that's what we're shooting for. It's just that really good compression, that really good engagement to try and get ourselves up as high as we can on that day. If you find it very challenging to straighten your legs with both feet up in the air because your hamstrings are a bit tight, there's nothing wrong with bringing a leg down. It does not make the compression easier. It just allows you to get that leg straight and allows you to kind of work on that hamstring position and that laying L just a little bit more. So take that down, make sure you're working on that good L, whatever way you have to. Quick recap, we have our in-out hops or steps for 10 seconds. Lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, total count, just moving back and forth. Half Turkish get up per side. Kneeling rotation, 5 per side. Laying toe touch for 20 seconds, rest 10. 2 times through that little piece. And then 3 rounds through that bottom left to get yourself squared away, heated up, and ready for your work set.
because our work set is going to kind of combine our Turkish get-up and our laying toe touch all into one. So pause the video, take down that piece, get yourself fired up and ready. We're going to go through the movements of the workout and have some fun with those. So our workout starts with double unders. So I don't have a skipping rope in hand, but if you're going to skip, you're going to rock double unders or singles. It's up to you. This is also a very cool workout if you want to practice double unders. If you have them and you're like, you know what, I have little bits and I have little numbers, I kind of want to work them in my workout today. That's fine. Give yourself about 30 to 40 seconds of double under practice. Doesn't matter how many you get, but give yourself that 30 to 40 second time frame, and then that gives you at least 30 to 20 seconds of rest. So if you'd like to practice them in the workout, please be my guest. Do it up today, have fun with it, or you're going to do 30 to 60 reps, or your double under equivalent. The double under equivalent can be one of two things. We can work on our lateral jump over, skip over, or step over. We can also work on our ankle pop. If you're kind of working on your double under timing, all right, we can work on our ankle pop with power jump. So it's working on the timing of the double under with that slightly higher jump and the hand timing. So it's going to work on maintaining the shape of the double under without the rope. So you can just work on the movement and the body position instead of worrying about having to deal with the rope. And I'll have some options there for you for reps and time frames if you want to work on those two options instead of skipping. Minute number 2, we have the Turkish get-up sit-up. So we have 20 seconds on the right side, rest 10, 20 seconds on the left side, rest 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to go from the side so you guys can see, and then I'll go straight on so you guys can see. So I have my dumbbell, or not. You can do this unloaded. The knee that's bent is going to be the arm that's up in the air. My other arm is going to be kind of on a 45 degree. This arm is pointing straight up to the ceiling. I am going to press down with the far arm, press down with that bent leg, and press up with the dumbbell all at once. And I'm going to sit up over into my elbow, and then I'm going to sit up to my hand. Depending on what you want to do, you can either go to the elbow or you can sit all the way up to your hand. Then I'm going to come back down the same way. I get set, come up to my elbow or my hand, keeping that dumbbell up towards the ceiling, and then I come down and down, keeping the dumbbell pointing to the ceiling. We want to make sure that we control that movement the entire time. So again, I don't want you to worry about how many reps you get. I want you to worry about the quality of reps today. You have 20 seconds to work and keep it smooth. So what I would do also is give yourself a little pause at the top and a little pause at the bottom, just so you're not rolling and using momentum getting these reps done. So I'm going to face you, facing the side, so sorry, head on, so you guys can see from the side, or from the front, I should say. Same leg, same arm, hand is out to that 45 degree. I press up, coming into that elbow position, dumbbell still pointing to the ceiling, and then I come up to my hand if I'd like, sitting up nice and tall, and then I come down, keeping the arm up, and then I come down to the laying position. So it's okay, all right, if you notice that I am shifting slightly to the side. It's okay if you see that, all right, you're allowed to do that in terms of getting into that position. So don't worry about trying to sit straight up necessarily. It's okay if we shift our weight to the elbow so that we can come back up to the hand. So again, you'll do 20 seconds worth on one side, rest 10 seconds. In that 10 seconds of rest, you're really just transitioning to the other side. So the leg and the hand will change, and then you'll have 20 seconds on the other side. You'll rest 10 seconds. You'll stand tall with your rope or your skipping option. Beep, and you'll hit those double under options again in minute number 1. And you take that down back and forth for 5 rounds, working on that shoulder, working on that core, and getting that heart rate up, perhaps even working on the skill of the double under. Today's a great practice day. It's a good day to work on some skills and just make things better. Moving into tomorrow, that workout is going to be a little bit more high intensity, where today is a nice practice day. So a little less intensity, nice little core day, work on some specifics, and finish strong, feeling good. So take your time with this one today, have fun with it. The work set is only five rounds, so it's only 10 minutes. So you have lots of time to warm up, get yourself ready for it, add some stuff in if you'd like, and we'll have a good day today. So work for quality. Have a great day today, you guys. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow for one more workout before the holidays. I hope you guys enjoy. See you very soon, you guys. Bye.